Welcome back, everybody. We pick up the story early in the morning, leaving the big city/Red Drum of Red Drum in the very northwest of Namibia. It's April 2020, and the country is under partial lockdown. And I'm the only tourist left in the country, or at least the only person mad enough to be exploring out here in the summer heat. Our plan today is to head north up the beautiful 70-kilometre long valley of Marienfluss to the Kunene River, which provides the border with Angola, and camp there for a while enjoying the breeze from the river in the baking heat. It's a very bumpy start and the day doesn't go entirely to plan, but Marienfluss is an extremely beautiful place and considered to be one of the highlights of Namibia. So jump in the landy with me and let's get going. It's quite corrugated. Beautiful road, but just completely decimated by corrugations. So a lot of tourist traffic up here now. Used to be just the odd sort of local with a car and the odd nutter like me, really. But it's become very popular, the South Drive. Anyway, it's a beautiful feeling, sort of slowly sweeping down into the valley. It's corrugated, but it's nice to be on sand again. Don't feel like your tyres have been cut to shreds so much you're just smashing everything else up on your car. So if you've ever thought you might like to drive around Africa or down Africa or whatever, you might like to know that most dirt tracks are actually like this, pretty much just corrugated to bollocks would be the best term. And so it's slow and tedious going. You often can't take in your surroundings too much because you're trying to pick a better route on the track. And it smashes your vehicle to pieces. So you spend a lot of time just doing, vehicle maintenance of swapping bushes and things like this. Even I always fit genuine Land Rover parts almost all of the time, especially bushes and so forth. But they, they don't last like that in Europe. You could fit bushes and run around for 10 years, no problem. But here, 1 year, 2 years, they're done. First impressions of getting back to Marienfluss after 10 years as well. It's a different place because it's the rainy season. It's actually, looking at it from the horizon, there's actually a tinge of green grass everywhere. As last time I was here, it was yellow, burnt, dried grass, if you like, sun bleached. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Quite a bit of game around. I've seen some zebra over here. There's something else moving over here. Can't quite see it. So yeah, looking forward to exploring some more. It's like coming to a different place. It's great. I've just stopped under what passes for a big tree here, and I'm just going to let some air out of my tyres. I've already lowered them down a little bit, but it's predominantly sand and corrugations, I think, for the next couple of 100 kilometres. It's obviously seen better days. The engine's still in there if you'd like to try rebuilding it. They often just die of spare parts. Something breaks terminally, they can't fix it. And so just cannibalize it for spare parts. Scrap metal's no good out here, it's too far to transport it anywhere useful. You do get quite a lot of electrical fires as well. This one's covered in bullet holes. If you don't look after your electrical wiring in your car, this is what can happen to you, maybe. I have no idea what actually happened. So just stopped taking a bit of the scenery as we're sort of now technically in Marienfluss, and I've never seen it like this before. It's beautiful. It's a rainy season, so everything's nice and green. Well, nice and green, I mean, as you can see, the green we're seeing is pretty spread out, but it gives a good green impression from a distance. So I've never seen it like this. It's beautiful. Even the trees up there, bright green. So this is what I'm talking about with the corrugations on the track. It's just these little ridges. They're a fact of life all over Australia and Africa and anywhere with dirt tracks, really. They're a bit tedious, but you're never going to get a grader up here, so you just have to learn to live with it. So we're going to head up this valley now and meet up with the mining track that we didn't take yesterday. And then after we've explored there, we'll head on down the main Marienfluss Valley all the way to the Kunene River, which forms the border with Angola. And I think it just gives you that nice experience of, you know, if you were here, this is what you'd be seeing as you were driving. It's the best I can do to sort of bringing you along on the journey. And for really, you know, pretty shots like this, it's basically sand desert, but with green grass. Sand desert and green grass, what a place. Alright, we've got a big tree under here, and what's underneath it? It looks like, is it birds? Yeah. Oh no, springboks. Ah, don't make me get out my wide angle lens, come on. Stay under the tree. As is obvious, at this stage, I hadn't gotten into the full swing of filming wildlife. To be honest, I was still scared of changing the lenses, in case dust got into the camera sensor. But don't worry, I soon got into the hang of it, and we are surrounded by animals in the next series. I've got some remote springbok, I guess you could say. A couple of ostrich over to the right. But again, sort of walking away from the vehicle. Following in ostrich tracks though, you can see they've been walking down the road. Oh, that one was a bit drunk, he went off to the side, or she. Here we are, we're following the ostrich tracks. Following in the footsteps of ostrich. That can be me, could be my tagline for the channel. Just keeping an eye out for animals, to be honest. I've seen springbok and zebra. I saw a dead zebra a while ago, but it was still fairly zebra-ish, and I thought I'd better not film it for the more squeamish of you that like to not see that side of nature. I've sat and watched 8 lions rip a zebra apart. You could hear the bones cracking and the cartilage ripping, and it was it's fairly gruesome, and it's fair to say they don't show that on National Geographic or the BBC. They tend to sort of just show maybe the kill and the first bite or something, but I can assure you after that it's just pure gut-wrenching carnage. I'll never forget that, you know, one of them got hold of the back end of the spine and just ripped it out. And all the bones sort of cracked and creaked and oh, it was disgusting. Anyway, enjoying this little drive. We're heading up to where we could have come out yesterday, which would have been a spectacular entrance. Looks like there's a Himba family over to the left there. There's some cows. That's not really what I came to see. What do we got there? General dealers. Petrol available. Alright, on something a bit smoother up the top here. I guess the wind blows over the corrugations a bit more or something. Anyway, this is nice driving on a beautiful bizarre grass and sand valley. Wow, this is just cool, I love it. So despite the storms last night and the lack of sleep, I'd have to say the slightly surreal grass and sand experience is making things worth it. Oh, look at this. It's obviously a wet patch where the rain collects and it's super green. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Sand, 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 desert, rock. Nothing but sand and rock. And a huge patch of super green. Absolutely brilliant. So this is what I mean. You've got the beautiful harshness of that rock. Been here for sunrise, you know, it would look more spectacular. And then you've got basically the sand, but basically you've got grass that grows. And then there's obviously a pool of water that sits under here because you've got just a big expanse, which makes sense. It's the lowest point on a flat area. And a bit more up there. There's a few trees like this around, and I'm guessing these are lightning strikes, you know. I don't think any local's going to come here and just randomly set a tree on fire. There's one there. There's two over there in the background. Just sort of burnt out stumps. So yeah, I'm guessing this is lightning strikes. So it doesn't look like a lot of fun. Alright, here we go. Through the lush green meadows of Marienfluss. Brilliant, eh? Yeah. So over to the right there's a particularly green spot, which I guess is a spring, or where the water first runs down the mountain. So that was pretty funny. Set up my second wide shot of sort of driving across the greenery there, and halfway through, the only other car I've seen in 3 days drives through the shot. So it looked like it was a tour sort of safari vehicle full of locals getting a ride somewhere. So anyway, that was funny. Well, that was epically good. Not an expert on bore marks yet, but something interesting there. Been walking along here. Alright, so this is the way to the mine, but I'm not sure if I want to take it. Let's go and have a look just quickly. I was expecting it to be a bit more of a an easier route, but it looks like it's a rock scramble up the hills, eh? No, I mean, it looks fine, to be honest. I'm just not particularly adventurous at the moment. Alright, we'll leave that for another day when we've got another vehicle and a bit more diesel and it's a bit more touristy season. Just in case I have a breakdown or any trouble up there. Alright, well, we've been defeated. Well, no, discretion was the better part of valor about getting to the other side of that mining trail. It looked like a nice little valley, but you know, it's all nice, and I just don't want to risk any vehicle damage. I normally sort of give it a go from this side. It didn't look too bad, but you don't know what's coming, and you don't know if you can turn around. And more importantly is the diesel situation. So I'm hoping I can get to the Kunene River where we have no choice but to turn around, and I haven't run out of fuel at that stage. And then with the 2 jerry cans, like I've got about 350 litres, 350 kilometres then. And it's, in theory, 346 kilometres back to Opowu, where I can get fuel. So, that's the plan. If we can make the Kunene, we might almost be okay without running out of fuel. If we can make it with some fuel to spare, then we're perfectly fine, I think. We just can't take any diversions back. That's alright. It's an interesting route no matter which way we go. So yeah, down into the valley and up to the Kunene is the plan. It's pretty much third gear. Definitely can't get up to fourth, second too slow. Slightly thick sand, but yeah, no problem. The corrugations are driving me mad. The corrugations are driving me crazy. But the scenery's pretty nice. With Marienfluss, there's 2 ways to come. You can sort of come over the higher pass or follow the valley along the bottom. I've done the valley pass before, and I thought I'd try this route, and I must say I'd recommend it. It's very nice. It's got a bit of different scenery. And so now we're going to join the one and only route to the end of the road, so to speak, at the Kunene River, which is the border with our Angola. It's pretty brutally hot now. It's the middle of the day, and this is just sand and rock. So I can feel my feet are just baking. The track is, again, just corrugated. It's just how it's going to be. There's too much traffic up here now. Well, not too much if you're a local making money off it, etc. But anyway, that's fine. Let's continue and get up to the Kunene. Sadly, can't go swimming due to crocodiles. Righto, let's go. Well, that looks like another of my lightning trees. It's my theory. I mean, no human's done that. Are there elephants here? Not that I'm aware of. But anyway, that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it till further notice. Up on this higher of the two sort of ways to attack Marienfluss, if you like. There's a lot of little settlements here. Looks like people actually living here at this time of the year with the rain. So suspiciously, I've not actually seen any animals. I guess maybe they're taking them out during the day. Not sure. But there's one there, there's another one just here. There's been quite a few. So it's nice to actually see some people. When I was up here in October and November, it was just absolutely bone dry. A lot of dead cows everywhere, and I think I saw, couple of people. I followed a lesser used set of tyre tracks, thinking they'd just get me off corrugations a bit. That they've sort of led me up into the mountain, hoping it was going to lead me back around as well. But yeah, it's taken me up into this riverbed. Who knows? Maybe that's a way through to where I wanted to go before. It's a bit of a shame, I had to turn around again. But interesting to discover that canyon, and I'll come back during the dry season one year and go up and explore that. It looks quite interesting. Up ahead we have some green called the Nangolo Plains, and there might be a bit of water in here, so we'll have a look when we get there. Pretty sure we could drive around it if we had to. If nothing else, it's a beautiful sandy couple of kilometers straight into it, so have a look when we get there. Lovely green down here. A leopard or some lions or something, and I'm not sure they exist. Generally, when there's a lot of cattle around, they've been scared or killed off or relocated. So again, that's that's the reality of actually travelling around Africa. There's greenery, there's water here. There's going to be some sort of animals. We've seen a bit. But actually spotting any, especially in the middle of the day, is almost impossible. Nothing sensible. Tends to be out in the sun in the middle of the day. It's just too hot, you get too thirsty, there isn't enough water. So it's really first thing in the morning, and twisting in the evening. It's cool. That's when the predators go hunting during the night. Anyway, that's the end of the plains as far as we can see. It sort of continues on a bit. We've just basically got sand to contend with. Sand and corrugations. Welcome to Marienfluss. Anyone can tell me what Marienfluss sort of means or stands for, or why it was given this name, please let me know. I'm assuming the Himba also have names for these places, so it'd be interesting to know what they sort of name it, and is it a descriptive name, you know, long beautiful valley or something. Strangely, I don't remember really any of this at all from 10 years ago. I guess everything is green. I remember of wide open valleys full of yellow grass. Yeah, so in that sense it's quite fascinating. It's like I haven't really been here before. 10 years is a long time, and your mind plays tricks on you. How many litres to spare will I make the Kunene? And what sort of leeway will that give me to getting back to Opovo? And it's that time of the day where I start checking out cloud build-up. See if we're going to have a repeat of last night. Definitely had some rain in here. Everything's green. The trees are incredibly green. Anyway, let's continue along the sand, nice and slowly, and let's see how we get on. No rain whatsoever in this riverbed for a while, it would seem, and no problems getting across. I took an earlier crossing. The map sort of took you through a little lagoon area. If it's dry, it's just going to be sand like this. If it's wet, it's going to be interesting. So I took the earlier river crossing, and it all seems fine. Currently, no chance of drowning. Sand. That's good, nice and smooth, no corrugations. So we're only a few kilometres away from the Kunene, and well, first of all, well done Land Rover. And that marks a turning point for us. We can't cross the river, and the other side's Angola, who won't let us in. Yeah, so well done. Scenery's changed quite a lot in the last few kilometres here. We're on sort of a rocky riverbed and this dry red sand. We've got a bit of a sand dune to get up. Looking forward to that, so let's go. A lot of fun this last bit. Nice smooth sand, sort of red, beautiful. Okay, last camera stop. before the river, really. We're going to try see if anyone's open. I think there's the two Namibian guys went to one campsite which was kind of open, so we'll give that a go, see what it's like, look at the shade, see if it's open. Otherwise there's a community campsite, but it's quite low to the river, and I'm assuming where I used to camp there under the trees would be in danger of being flooded at this time of the year. Anyway, well, let's get to the Kunene, the river, and see what the options are. And looking forward to be honest, a day or two off. So not driving and doing a bit of walking and exploring. Let's go. It really is stinking hot, I have to say. Just rock, sun baking rock as far as you can see. So we're definitely keen on some shade. And look, there's some green of a river down there. Here's all the goats. Please no traders beyond this point. South Catering and Camping, Traditional Craft Centre. So here we are, community camp. Guessing there'll be no one there. Doesn't look very open to me. Oh, there's a lot of water, eh? Oh, okay. That looks pretty closed, as in wet. Can't really camp here, eh? There's too much water. Looks like it's all been underwater a few days ago. So we'll have to go back to Camp Synchro. I mean, it's just wet sand, but still. Yeah, the river's quite full though. Definitely quite full. Oh well, we can say we made it to the Kunene, eh? Beautiful. Well done, we made it. Oh, it's a shame. Would have been nice to camp here under the big tree, but just too much mud, eh? The tree is loving it. So if you have fond memories of campsite number 1, you'll may not recognise it today. Oh. It's overlanding during Corona and rainy season. What can you do? Let's go and have a walk around. Yeah, so it's been quite a journey up from Windhoek very quickly to Puros. Puros we had good fun, a nice time, and then a fantastic trip. So there's the Kunene River in all its glory, and this one I can tell you certainly has crocodiles in it, because I've kayaked down it about 40 kilometres And there's plenty of crocodiles. So I'm a little bit cautious here, just on the bank. Anyway, that seems a more fitting turning point for the trip, to get a proper shot and just have a quiet moment by the Kunene River. Airport number 2 by the looks of it. Not a bad runway. I reckon even I could land a plane on that one. Alright, let's go and have a look at Camp Synchro. See what it's like, eh? Yeah. So just been turned away from the second campsite here. When asked why, they just sort of shrugged their shoulders. I guess it's because of Corona. They're a bit scared. I tried to explain I've been in the desert for 2.5 weeks. I can't possibly have it. But anyway, that's life. They kindly offered me some water, so I topped up for 35 litres. It's not good drinking water, but at least it's water and I can filter it. They have had some rain, so you know, maybe they didn't feel they could accommodate me very well, and they were flooded the other day. But still, I would have been happy with this place. There's a higher ground up there with a big tree. I would have been happy for a day or two. Exhausted. Anyway, we'll go and see if there's a cold drink on offer. And then, of course, there's one way in and one way out of the valley. So all I can do is start driving. I think there's a rule about camping in Marienfluss, but I'm sorry, I'll have to do it. I can't camp here. So I'll hit the road back along Marienfluss. I guess I'm not stopping for filming too much, so it should be a bit quicker. And who knows, I might even get to Red Drum, my favourite place for camping again. Anyway, very disappointing. This was supposed to be one of the relaxing parts of the trip, you know, get here, sit under the trees next to the river for a few days. That's life. Let's rock and roll. So just asked about diesel and the shop and things, and had a bit more of a chat. But she said because of the river, they're expecting more rain today or tomorrow. And they expect to be flooded again. Anyway, so that was a disappointing experience. I was looking forward to a cool couple of days under the trees next to the river watching crocodiles. And instead, got shown where to go by the rain more than anything, I think. These were fairly typical experiences during my year in Namibia. Many campsites were abandoned with nobody around, or they were closed due to restrictions placed on them. I became used to wandering around, somewhat lost and kind of homeless, often unable to find anywhere to unpack, relax or unwind. The local news reported that all tourists had gone home, so nobody was expecting me to turn up and ask about camping. When I did, they were usually fearful of what they might catch, thinking that I'd just come from overseas. So I kind of got used to being treated rudely at times. Doors closed and locked as I drove up. People were scared of me. Just going to visit the local shop to see if it's open, and if it's got anything drinkable, really, is what I'm after. Oh, they are opening the door, so that's a good sign, not closing it. It would prove to be a very strange year, full of unusual challenges. But driving back down Marienfluss as an unwanted vagrant surrounded by its startling harshness and beauty, I couldn't help feeling tinges of optimism and happiness. After all, if I was going to die alone from a weird virus, this wasn't a bad place to go out in. And at least a local hyena would be well fed for a few days.
advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life.